as you guys know, it's pretty easy with the magic of video editing to make yourself look really good. You just edit out all the bad stuff and save all the good stuff. Well, I want to keep this real, and not everything is perfect, so I'd like to share all my successes along with my failures. Here we are back at Wauchula. This is a Thursday evening. Gonna try to do a nice sunset flight. It's been about 2 weeks, actually 2 weeks to the day since I was out. It was a Thursday sunset flight last time, so feeling a little bit rusty, but taking my time and getting everything straight here. I didn't realize it at this point, but I had inadvertently partially unplugged the GoPro 7 microphone from the microphone adapter. So here I have no audio. I'll just have to do this one voiceover style and put a little music in the background maybe. So here we go, we got all set. The wind was still a little bit shifty. It was about an hour and 20 minutes before sunset, and there was still a little bit of thermal activity, and the wind I think kind of shifted on me on this launch. I set up right close to the truck. If you notice the windsock there, it's coming a lot more from my right. I should have waited for the cycle or adjusted into it. Here when the wing came up, you can see it just, and I didn't even realize how crooked it came up till it was too late. So at that point I just laid it down. We'll go ahead and reset into the wind. I probably could have gotten underneath of it if I had seen it faster, and if I hadn't been set up so close to the truck and trailer. I wasn't able to turn left to get underneath of the wing from that position. So starting again here. It's only been 2 weeks, man, I can't be that rusty, right? So now we're looking good into the wind. Roll on throttle, arms out, up comes the wing. Uh-oh, something's not right. One of my lines was stuck underneath of my wire tie on my cage. I use it as a line guide. So, one more time. Now it's time to just slow down. Take it back and reset everything and get ready to go for a third time. Third time's a charm, right? Okay, we'll see. Okay, so here we go. Roll on throttle, arms out, A's up. Wing comes up, looks good. Catch the surge. What's going on? I got a little front to back oscillation going on there. Took a little bounce, then it straightened itself out. I didn't realize till afterward when I watched the ground footage that I actually hit the kill switch momentarily, causing the wing to surge forward. Listen to this. Holy cow, I thought I'd never get off the ground. You could even hear Jackson saying goodbye to me as I lifted off. It was still pretty darn bumpy. Like I said, an hour and 20 minutes or so before sunset. In Florida, it's still 85 degrees during the day, and it's like the second week in November, so we still had plenty of thermal activity going on. There actually was some development in the skies. Some of those clouds were building even that late in the day, which is a little bit unusual. Now that the runway is open at Wauchula, it's more of a departure and landing spot. I don't fly up and down the runways or fly around the pattern like I could do while it was closed, so I take off and fly away from there. I flew over to the little town of Ona a few miles away, and I noticed to the south there was still some development and some pretty good columns of rain, probably 5 or more miles away, so I started keeping an eye on that stuff pretty close. It looked like it was moving in my direction.
Gorilla, he's no factor. He's right over the top of the field, probably 3,500, 4,000 feet.
Roger that, ground. Yeah, that's a pretty big one to the south. I'm going to head back toward the field and see which way it's going.
So after a little while, I was flying around out a couple of miles west of the field, just cruising around, checking it out, enjoying the evening. About that time, Dad got a call on the radio. Cessna 172 was 3 miles west of the airport, heading in our direction. Dad called me on the radio, and I turned toward the west to start to look for him. He was at 900 feet, and I was at 1,200, so I continued to climb and scan for him. He was coming from the direction of the sun, so I had a lot of glare and I wasn't able to see very well. The other pilot was reporting he was at 900 feet and I was at 1,250 and climbing, so I couldn't see him, but he was able to see me, and he reported having me in sight, so there wasn't a factor. I just kept on looking for him till I finally spotted him. I picked him up about right here, coming across the road. And I was probably 400 feet or so above him by the time he passed below. After all that excitement, I came back closer to the field at a lower altitude to fly around and sightsee a little bit. So right about here, I ran a few wild hogs out of the wood line. See them on the left-hand side running for that swamp. 2 great big ones and 1 smaller one. You can't miss them. They are just pitch black and fast. I circled around to try to follow them and look at them some more, but they were gone. They probably slipped into that tall grass or into the tree line. So I had some challenges getting off the ground to start with, but once I did, it was really worth it. Beautiful sunset. It turned out to be very, very smooth once the thermal activity laid down. Guys, thanks for watching. If you would, reach down and push the like button, or if you haven't already, subscribe.
That was a squeaker,
I'm
man.
just going to try to keep it real, show successes and failures.